Hey everybody, welcome back to our show, to our completely original idea. Isn't that right, Evan?
I hate you. What are we doing?
I don't know. Why don't you pull the bag off and we can show everybody what we're doing today.
Sean put this here, didn't he?
Who's Sean?
Did you put this in my house? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Oh, no. Fuck. It's a ripoff.
Alright, so what we have here is known as the Circle of Suffering, the most completely original idea.
Wait,
YouTube.
Which one? Was it wheel or circle? I don't know who you are anymore.
Me neither, but all I know is that this is the most completely original idea YouTube has ever had. YouTube, a creation of our own. So let's go into a little bit more detail of what this actually
There's porn on this wheel. I know there's going to be porn on this wheel. It's like, here's going to be the movies. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mission Impossible, Blade Runner, How the Grinch Stole My Dildo. That's what's going to be on this wheel.
Yeah, but let's go over some of the actual movies on this wheel. So we have Planet 51 from the great year of 2009. An alien civilization is invaded by astronaut Chuck Baker, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who believes that the alien planet was uninhabited. Wanted by the military, Baker must get back to his ship before it goes into orbit without him. We also have I Am Here.
Hold on. Can we look at this real quick? Does that look like the Shrek logo to you? Wait, can you put the logo right here for Planet 51? What year did this come out?
2009.
09?
Yeah.
Shrek ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
I think
Shrek.
it was made by the same studio. Don't quote me on that, but I think so.
I can't wait for there to be a little thing on the bottom of the screen that says Jason is wrong. Alright, what is next?
We also have here the movie I Am Here, ... Now, another 2009 film by Neil Breen. Disappointed by its creation, the almighty being that created man arrives on Earth in a human form and interacts with various troubled, wicked, and sinful people on his journey to Las Vegas, written and directed by Neil Breen. After that, we have Wish Upon, 2017. A teenage girl discovers a box that carries magic powers and a deadly price for using them. Alrighty.
This has been highly recommended by a few people.
A few personal friends.
A few personal friends. Hey, DM me Mike Staklasa from Relator Media.
After that, we have Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer from 1992. Sequel to Tetsuo, this time has the Iron Man...
I'm so fucking mad at you that you put this on the wheel right now.
This time has the Iron Man transforming into cyberkinetic gun when a gang of vicious skinheads kidnaps his... That rhymes. Iron Man...
Cyberkinetic gun.
Iron Man transforming into cyberkinetic gun when a gang of vicious skinheads kidnaps his son. When the skinheads capture him, they begin to experiment on him, speeding up the mutative process. Interesting. After that, we have Deep Blue Sea 2.
There's a 2?
From this year.
Where? What? Who made this?
A brilliant billionaire named Carl Durant is experimenting on bull sharks, which soon rebel to cause havoc for a group of scientists. Those scientists, they always get into trouble like this. Stop doing science stuff. Alright, next up we have Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain from 1998. 20 years old this year. Okay, so three young boys, Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum, together with their...
Fucking Steve is like dying over there. Can we get a shot of Steve in the kitchen real quick? Just like losing his fucking shit? Jesus Christ. Wow. Look at that. Alright.
So Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum, together with their neighborhood girl, computer whiz Amanda, are visiting Mega Mountain Amusement Park when it's invaded by an army of ninjas led by evil Medusa, who wants to take over the park and hold their owners for ransom. Kids and retired TV star Dave Dragon, Hulk Hogan, who made his farewell appearance at the park at the time the ninjas appeared, have to break Medusa's vicious... That sounds like a lot for this little movie. But, okay, and last up on the list is River of Darkness from 2011.
The Hunt. The Hunt is on widescreen. At least it's in widescreen.
When brutal murdering starts in a small riverside town, the sheriff, played by WWE's Kurt Angle, he filmed this with a broken freaking neck, must investigate and face the horrific past. Ladies and gentlemen, those are all the movies we have. If we land on this, whoever spins can pick whatever the hell they want to watch.
Can I tell you which ones I don't want to watch? Right? This looks like trash. I can't. That looks like garbage. I won't. I'm hoping that we get Area Planet 51 with Shrek the Rock Johnson. I Am Here Now, Serial Killers R Us by Neil Breen, or the movie I actually want to watch off of this wheel. What are you thinking?
I'm a sucker for Planet 51. You want to do the honors, Evan?
No. Fuck you. Just go fuck yourself. All right. Oh, no. Hold on. Can I see the paper real quick?
Yeah.
No!
Looks like Tetsuo 3 is getting put on the board.
No, we have no. That's it.
Is there like a magnet back here?
Kidding me right now.
All right.
Sean, you
Stop it!
No, you ripped the freaking wheel. No, stop.
It's cursed.
Stop. This is ridiculous.
Can I spin again? All right. 4 times a charm.
Oh no.
Okay. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fun video review right here on the Blah Blah Podcast YouTube channel. YouTube, a website that I made myself. I am Jason Green, and with me today is Mr. Steve Coltis, sometimes Stone Cold Steve Coltis.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, you guys.
Also with us today is Dan the Man Katz.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? And to my right,
There, I knew I was on. I spun the wheel.
that's true. Breaking the kayfabe
But my
right
name
there.
is Evan.
Right here is Evan Moore, and we have a interesting episode today to talk about. So let's start from the beginning. Evan.
God. Well, we spun the wheel, and we all held our breath and prayed that we wouldn't get to Tetsuo the Iron Man 2.
Yes.
And what happened, Jason?
Well, we landed on Tetsuo 2 not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. This was divine intervention, and just a little backstory here. We reviewed the first Tetsuo movie.
Find the link right here.
On a previous Blah Blah review episode, which you can also find probably there.
And everybody loved it, right?
Yeah, it was.
There.
It's also under, just look at a channel backlog, but yeah, it was an interesting movie. So we spun it again, and then what did we land on then?
Planet 51.
Yay!
An animated movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Never heard of it? Neither had we.
Yeah.
Alien Shrek.
Yeah, it was Alien Shrek.
Yes.
It was like
We'll never know.
Johnson plays an astronaut with blonde hair who lands on an alien planet.
Johnson? You mean The Rock? Who's ever called
Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
We're on a
President
personal.
Johnson.
We're on a first name basis here, but when we started it, we noticed something weird.
Uh-oh.
Are we supposed to hear something?
No, because they're aliens, bro. They don't speak the same language. Is this broken?
Why would they not have...
I think maybe the file that I got doesn't have dialogue on it. All I hear is music and
The dialogue is super low. Oh my god, what the hell?
No dialogue.
Perfect! god!
This is a perfect get out. You can't watch the fucking movie.
Fucker! You fucker! You no!
Gary Oldman.
We can't hear any of these people! Sean William Scott is in this? Not in our copy!
None of these people up here.
John Cleese!
Oh my god.
I can't hear any of these talents because of you!
Yeah, well, I guess Sean bought his Blu-ray off of a very legal website and made a copy of said Blu-ray very legally. And I guess because we were watching it on a Sony device and it's a Sony movie, the audio worked perfectly. Actually, it worked so well, we couldn't hear any dialogue.
Yeah, no dialogue. There was, what were you saying then? There was like
The whole
background?
movie's there, the Foley's there, all of the extra stingers they added in, but there's just no dialogue track.
Not
It's
Yeah.
dialogue. So, there was almost no possible way for us to actually watch Planet 51.
Yeah, so we went with the will of the wheel wanted us to. We went with Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer.
Body Hammer.
So, this was the sequel to Tetsuo Iron Man.
I don't think any of us wanted to watch this.
I personally-
Except for probably Dan probably wanted to watch this.
I didn't
'Cause
see
he's a
this one.
Fucking...
I liked the first one, so
Yeah.
I wanted to see it.
Well, a little
but-
backstory about the first one, other than the fact that we reviewed it, I don't think anybody but Dan liked it. I don't really remember. I remember, and Sean,
Yeah,
well, that
let's say
fucking
that one over there.
Of course, he liked it.
I personally didn't like the first Tetsuo. I found it
I
really just too weird.
It was just no good.
But Tetsuo 2 wasn't bad.
This was the surprise of the night.
Yeah,
man.
I
This
was-
I really enjoyed myself.
This
This movie fucks.
yeah.
It's
This movie
hard.
was-
It's
Hard.
a lot. I don't see any connection to the first one, even though it says Tetsuo 2. It kind of feels more like a remake in a way.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
like
it
how
does.
Evil Dead 2 was a remake of Evil Dead 1.
That's actually a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
But and this was way more of a padded out story. I actually could follow what was going on. I understood what was happening, and I really, really, really liked the visuals.
So first off, it's in color, but I like a lot of black and white movies, so that's not really the reason I like this more. But just, I guess the budget was bigger, the story was a little more focused. It was just overall, it was interesting. It was engaging. It was gross. I mean, there was a couple of moments where we were like screaming. And,
Yeah, and children and animals are not
Oh
safe.
no,
Nothing
no!
is safe. Nothing is sacred or safe.
So how do we want to go? Do we want to just kind of start from the beginning and talk about what happens in this movie?
Yeah.
If we could even.
Good spark.
And then
notes.
we can come back and just say the stuff that we liked individually, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Sure.
So, I mean, the movie starts off with, I guess there's this underground tunnel where this drunken man, who everyone referred to as me. Why would anybody?
Why would anybody think that?
Anyway, I didn't actually take anything.
Yeah, he was stumbling around on the subway,
He's
waiting for a
stumbling around,
train.
and some guy comes up and goes, "Hey,"
Bang.
and kills him with his finger, like a
Yeah, finger guns.
which was like, it was a pretty cool death, and all of a sudden it kind of set the tone for the movie, and we're like, hey, we're in for something a little interesting. And then cut to both actors from Tetsuo 1 not playing their characters from Tetsuo 1.
Nope,
Yeah.
totally
Nope.
different people.
Falls in line of this being more of just a reimagining of the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
So I guess they have this kid, some mob members
Minori.
kidnap the kid. Like they seem like mob members or like a gang. Kidnaps the
At a
kid
mall.
at a mall. They run around in a hardcore Henry-esque chase
Oh, yeah.
through like a record store. It was
They go everywhere, and,
Yeah.
and the mall looks so industrial too.
Yeah.
Even though it's a mall, when they're on top of the roof, it's just there's like AC units, there's giant metal pipes
they're
everywhere.
climbing through.
Yeah,
them.
this movie just made. I really liked the movie, but it just made me feel uncomfortable.
That was very-
just the way the camera filter was, just how close and grotesque everything was.
Yeah.
Even this chase scene just made me feel like dirty, you know.
Well, somewhere in the chase scene, he gets shot with what we assume is a gun.
It looked like a nail gun with like a circle around it.
Yeah, so he gets shot with that, and like we have these weird flashes of like metal and all sorts of crazy shit going on. They take the kid, they almost throw him off a building. They don't throw him off a building.
It's like they're trying to tempt
Yeah.
or not tempt, they're like egging the guy on.
Yeah.
The main character.
And it gets kind
Tetsuo.
of freaky. Was his name Tetsuo? What does Tetsuo mean? What does that translate to, Dan?
You're asking the wrong person.
No, I'm not. Sean, what does Tetsuo
It probably
translate?
means like
Sean.
Iron Man or something.
Okay, Sean will get back. Sean's gonna bring us some breaking news on what Tetsuo means. Sean has breaking news.
I have an answer.
What's the
What?
answer,
What is it?
Sean?
It stands for Iron Man.
I
said that.
So wait, so the name of the first movie is Iron Man, the Iron Man, and the name of the second movie is Iron Man
Body
Hammer.
Yes.
Better movie. Anyway,
Robert Downey Jr. ripped it off.
So they kidnapped the kid a second time,
Yeah.
and they were on a whole nother chase.
The kid wanted to be kidnapped.
It was like, bye guys.
He was having fun.
And somehow they end up on a roof again. But between this kidnapping and the first one, the dad had started going to a gym and getting super pumped.
Oh, I forgot.
there was
He
some
was,
swole
he was pumping iron.
Yeah.
He was doing some reps.
He was like having trouble at first with the shoulder machine. He's going, and then all of a sudden he just remembered his kid being kidnapped, and
He's like, boom,
And
yeah.
then Arnold Schwarzenegger just repping it out.
Yeah, and then we started to get like an inkling already of like some weird body horror shit. Like
He was having weird dreams.
Well, I mean, it's Tetsuo.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming.
But see, this is the point where like I kind of knew already that this was going to be a much better movie. Is like the body horror is a little more gradual. I think at this beat in the first movie, we already had like dick drill. You know what I mean? Like there was already. He's on the roof with the one like gang member, and what is he? He blacks out.
So the
or-
gang member holds up the kid like in front of him by his hands.
This is where the movie. this is where-
Yeah.
It goes.
And
goes
so
It goes.
the guy all of a sudden his arm turns into a giant fucking gun. He's got a gun arm, and then like a
Like Mega
fucking
Man.
super Dragon Ball Z bullshit explosion gun, and then next thing you know the kid's vaporized, and the
Except
guy's
for
just
his-
holding the stumps of his arms in his little hands,
And the dude holding it is just laughing maniacally. Like,
covered in
Bloody
innards.
guts
He's got like
just, like,
he's got the
all
kid's
over his
intestines
head.
like hanging off of his.
he wanted
cheek
that to
and shit.
happen.
It was the weirdest. And all the while, the wife and the mom is like looking on
Yeah.
in like complete horror.
They
And her
turn the
husband's
camera
like-
over and reveal that the wife saw the whole thing happen,
It
and
was like
she's
comedic timing though. I mean, like they like switch to the wife. It's like,
You vaporized our kid.
This is the best movie ever.
but like this is where it gets interesting because he gets kidnapped, which was a weird jump in the movie. Like he gets kidnapped, and then he's taken to like this. There's like all these guys like working out.
You know what reminded me of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, The Foot Clan?
Oh
my god!
Training underground. But these are fucking like all bald Asian monk looking dudes just
Dude, they're like,
carrying heavy pieces of steel and just
どんなやつに危険がないようにおとなしいやつにしました。
Yeah.
but then like cuts to like like a wide shot of them, and there's like 40 like skinhead like Asian dudes like
Yeah.
just fucking pumping
Getting
car parts
ripped.
in like a
and,
smelting.
and they're all standing on different like levels of this freaking warehouse, so like
I don't know
all
why.
over the place.
It reminded me of that Simpsons episode where Homer took Bart to the steel mill, and it was all like the half naked guys working in the steel mill.
yes,
I know
Anybody
what you're
remember
talking
that?
about. I know
That
what
was
you're
a
talking
that's
funny
exactly what it was
I know
like.
what you're
There's also a video by Madonna called "Express Yourself." If you look at videos of that, it's the same shit. Well, it turns out that there's like this scientist that's developing a way to make men into part gun
Yeah.
and part man.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
ultimate human weapon. He's like fusing guns and people. And then they kidnap Tetsuo. I don't remember.
He'll just be Tetsuo.
Tetsuo.
He's
Yeah.
Tetsuo
They
now.
kidnap Tetsuo and they put VR on him.
Yeah, they put a PlayStation VR
It's
headset.
like it's like bondage VR.
Yeah.
Made out of, like,
Yeah.
leather.
It's
It's
like
got-
a-
yeah, it's like ooh.
It's what they put on Blanca in the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
Because
I know
for
exactly
the
what
longest
you're
time,
talking about.
he's sitting under there with like all these horrible like images of war and shit, trying to make him like evil, and then the doctor puts like calming dolphins and other
Yeah.
shit up into his VR helmet. It's the same
But
exact
it's
thing.
but you're right. It is the same thing because they're literally trying to, for lack of a better term, trigger him.
Yeah.
Like They're showing him violent and bad memories to get the gun to come out of him, to get him angry. That's what killed his son. Is he got angry, used the gun, and then
because he had no
killed
control.
his son by mistake,
and
that was like the whole idea.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get him angry, and they show him like really bad memories of him killing his son, and like there's like a xenomorph scene. Killing people.
He has like 7 barrels come through his chest, just like a minigun, just starts blowing everything apart in front of him. And now he's dead.
he falls off a table in the movie too, so it works.
Well, he does, yeah. And then he kills like the guys.
He kills everyone standing around him, right?
And yeah, you can see that there's like this other guy that has like gun hands. It's like
Who's studying him.
Yeah, he's like a guinea pig.
It's the X-Man.
Yeah, well, that's the guy from the beginning.
Yeah,
with the gun hands. He's got a big
X-Man.
Yeah. Which I just thought you were calling him an X-Man because he was like a mutant, and then I noticed the X on him. And I was like,
literal
an X on him.
He's a literal
You see him in the
X-Man.
It took me
beginning.
way too long to realize that.
So Tetsuo gets out, and then the X-Man is literally injecting his like skinhead henchman with this gun because he thought like the gun worked on Tetsuo, so it'll work for all his guys.
Yeah.
But lo and behold,
There's a plot twist.
Plot twist. It's not working on the guys.
Yeah, we find that out later on.
Tetsuo never got hit with the gun. He's just turning into a gun anyway.
Yeah, when they shot him earlier in the movie, they shot Tetsuo in his breast pocket, and there was like a PDA in there.
Just like Teddy Roosevelt.
It saved him.
Dude,
Like-
literally that happened to Teddy Roosevelt. He was giving a speech, and he got shot with a bullet in his heart, and he had his glasses case in his pocket. And it didn't pierce his heart, just knocked the wind out of him. He took the glass case out and finished his goddamn speech.
Yep.
What a beast.
I love Teddy Roosevelt.
It's just like that episode of The Simpsons where Ned Flanders gets shot with a sniper rifle in a breast pocket, and it hits his Bible.
Oh, lucky I was wearing an extra large piece of the True Cross today. I think I'll go inside.
Did not get hit with the gun. The gun makes people die. They rust into nothingness. And now we're kind of like, all right, well, how the fuck is this guy turning into a gun?
That's when we're stroking our chins.
We're cheering our strokes.
That's when the wife is the one that finds the clothes that he was wearing because she's like, what the hell's going on with him? She's the one that realizes like, okay, he didn't get hit with that thing, so what the fuck's up? How did she end up? Did she get kidnapped?
She got
too?
kidnapped,
She gets kidnapped,
and then he's running down the road, and they're trying to trigger him again to get him to turn back into the gun. And that's where he's like running up the side of the wall.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man run.
And he's like bike pedaling behind him, like super fast, and shooting at him.
He's got like shoulders coming out.
Yeah, he's growing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then there's a part in the movie where his pants just become MC Hammer pants.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he's just running around with baggy ass pants. His
like when
robot parts coming out.
Trying to sneak snacks into a movie theater.
So he's got like a gun on his chest, and he's got like a gun on his arm. And I want to point out the design of this. I think is like in the first Tetsuo, it just looked like, and it was just fucking parts just like glued on. And I'm not really one to complain about special effects that much, but like having good special effects in this one made the movie more effective, because for it to be effective body horror, like it looked, that gun on his arm specifically looked like it was fused into his
It was a
skin.
gross integration of like metal and flesh. Like the further it went up the arm, you could see like the veins going in it. It was like, ugh.
You can tell that like he's definitely influenced by some Giger art.
My god, yes.
Like obviously it goes past that and becomes like super techno organic rather than anything else, but it definitely has that.
Well, when it did the zoom in on like the black mecha heart, that was very like alien looking.
And at this point in the movie, because like I said, he's running around, it's more organic, and like he's trying to save his wife, and as he's like back in the complex where he was before, like he's transforming more and more and more until he's like
he becomes he becomes like a fucking like I'd say like a
shield.
like a sentry almost.
Yeah.
'Cause he's got like a shield part of his body, and he's like one giant gun.
Yeah.
But then it keeps going even fucking further, and this dude turns into a literal tank.
But it's like
with treads.
His things are coming out of his face, and
Yeah.
and out of his arms.
He's got this arm that's a giant dick, which I think is on purpose completely because it's like a phallic imagery with like the gun and everything.
Yeah.
So it's this tank's cannon, and then he's got fucking treads. Like he's a full tank by this point.
But plot twist.
Yeah.
The X-Man or whatever, the other guy.
It's his brother.
It's his brother.
His little brother.
You want to explain?
And then
you want to explain that?
Yeah, this movie goes and is like, you think that's fucked up?
Yeah,
Wait,
just wait.
This is only the first point of fucked up.
Yeah.
There's like a whole nother.
Yep.
Where they like jumps off the cliff in terms of fucked up.
And then
it's fucking weird.
when the wife is being held hostage, that's when she finds like a video, right, of like the
She's watching the X-Man's eyes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's what's on the screen. So when he's like beating the shit out of the X-Man, he turns into a tank. The X-Man's fucking brain stem.
well, no,
comes
that's
out.
because he fucking like cuts off his fucking
His head.
brother's head and like plugs in like the severed head into him with the fucking sewage pipe looking thing from the first movie.
Yeah.
And they, like mind meld with each other.
And that's when
when they reveal the whole backstory that we didn't know this whole fucking movie.
that the X-Man and then Tetsuo are brothers. And so as it goes on, we find out that like their father is experimenting on them. He's like trying to fuse humans and weapons because remember
fuse the cat to the tea cat.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
And like remember
Incredibly not okay.
he gives I think it was Tetsuo like a small handgun and it goes into his hand.
Oh, that was so
it
weird.
absorbs it and you can see it like getting sucked up through under his
go
skin.
up his arm into his like body, and it's gross.
So weird.
And it was like messing with their psyche too.
Yeah. Well, there was a scene where he's trying to get them to kill the dog. Right.
And Tetsuo won't do it.
Tetsuo won't kill the dog, but the little brother with the cleft lip, who's the X-Man, will kill the dog, and he does. What was really funny about that scene, though, is like as soon as the dog was about to get shot, the cat walked in and started crying.
Yeah, and
I was like, "It's okay, it's okay."
We're not gonna turn you into a tea kettle.
Caesar, relax.
The poor fucking cat was like in a panic.
You just saw
He's like, "What are you
the
watching?"
tea kettle cat. Oh no.
I heard the tea kettle cat. I was like, "What's this?"
That's my friend.
Oh, that was
So then the real fucking head twister scene happens in this movie where if you're watching it and you have to actually really be paying attention to what's going on because it's so weird.
I mean, I got it wrong.
It appears that the father is raping the brother's mother at gunpoint.
The two brothers' mother. It's both of them.
It appears that he's raping her at gunpoint, like shoving a gun in her mouth and like doing all this weird like sexual stuff. Apparently he's not. The whole movie, we find out that Tetsuo was so traumatized by all this horrible shit that he did as a kid that he just completely shut all of it out and doesn't remember anything, even though he knew that he was a weapon. He just walked in on his parents having sex, and because of his dad fucking with him so much, he basically just killed the parents
in a really
horribly,
like in a RoboCop-esque death where they get shot like hundreds of times.
Yeah, it's like they're not human anymore.
No, they get blown apart. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I mean, it really was like, and then it's like, okay, well, he shut out his memory. He doesn't realize it's a weapon, and then like. It cuts back to, I guess, the two brothers fuse together into the big tank.
They become Tank Man,
Yeah, and then he asks the wife, kill me. Put the fucking rust gun in me.
And kill me.
Put me out of my misery.
And kill me.
And just end this, because I remember everything that I did. I need to die.
Yeah.
And she's, like, about to do it, and of course, she's
like,
like,
but I love
nope,
Tank Man.
not gonna do that.
And then around this point is when you left.
Yeah, I left to take a phone call.
What happens after that is there's a shot of the street, and you see Tank Man with the wife sitting on him.
No, you're skipping a really important part here.
part?
So Tetsuo rolls back into the end of the factory where all the pumping iron.
Oh, yeah.
So,
skinhead
by the way,
guys.
the pumping iron guys, half of them are dead.
Half of them are dead because of the rust
injected and
thing.
Rust disease.
But the rest of them have probably been sitting around pumping iron the whole time, just waiting for their
Super
turn.
jacked.
And Tetsuo rolls in and shoots out his sewage pipe thing into all the fucking guys' heads. And then in the next scene, we see like a horizon shot, and you just see the top of the fucking tank coming over the city in Japan, and it slowly just comes in the frame, and you see his wife just hanging off the side of the tank like, I love you, honey. And the tank just rolls through. It's got the faces of all those guys fused on the body. This horrible, grotesque image.
In horrible pain, like just.
And then she just like rides him into the sunset, and they just shoot at the city of whatever, is it Tokyo, wherever the hell they are, and just demolish everything.
Yeah.
And then the movie just dissolves, and does more of its weird imagery stuff, and then we come to a nice peaceful scene of Tetsuo looking normal, his wife with a brand new haircut, and their new baby that they have together, and they're walking around the destroyed area of Japan like, oh, it's really quiet and peaceful.
We got rid of all the people now. It's fine.
And that's pretty much the end of it right there.
This fucking movie, man. Like, every single little thing I didn't like about the first one, this did right. Yep. This was like everything I thought the first one should be. This was. This is fucking. This is because the first one we compared a lot to David Lynch and David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
This one feels like David Lynch and David Cronenberg.
For sure.
It is body horror. It is sex.
Yeah.
It is like like it just the way that they portray human bodies and machines is so like skin crawlingly repulsive.
And then, I don't know, we haven't even talked about this for some reason. I don't know how to come up with the fucking music.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Music in this movie. The first one had good music too. That was one of the things we remember because it's like a music video.
That was one of the redeeming qualities for me for the first one was the
Yeah,
music.
for sure.
But the music in this is like this is real industrial punk.
Oh yeah,
This
no,
is
for
like-
sure. They made this in a factory. Like,
Yeah.
the music was made in a factory.
You kept saying the whole time, Steve, that it sounded like an N64.
It did.
Yeah.
It sounded like an
Like a
N64 boss battle,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
at the end of a game.
I mean, it's just really creative music spliced with visuals, and this is where I want to talk about 80s music and 80s music videos. So this movie was made in 92. Sean, give me a nod if that's correct. Okay, thank you. It's made in 92. At this point, we already went through a lot of music video type shit, and I'm not saying it's ripping off Michael Jackson, but there's a movie called Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yep.
In this movie, he's surrounded by Joe Pesci and Joe Pesci's gang.
Yes.
This is a terrible movie, never see this. And he gets all enraged and like he has his hands over his face and he brings his hands down and he turns into Mecha Michael Jackson with rockets on his back flying around shooting at bad guys. And then at the very end he's with some kids. He's with some kids and they're all like, "Oh, we're so happy to have you back to normal, Michael."
Where's he going? He's leaving. Goodbye, Michael. Goodbye. Thank you, Michael. Bye. It's all right, kid.
So, in closing, I'd like to know what you guys would rate this movie. I'd probably rate it myself like maybe an 8 out of 10 or so. It was a solid film. I really liked it a lot. It's what the first one should have been. I loved the imagery. It was really scary, and I know it's a weird thing to say, but I loved that uncomfortable feeling of it. I just love Japanese horror. Like, if you guys got to read that Uzumaki manga, one of the scariest mangas in the world. And this kind of would have reminded me of a lot of body horror imagery in that. But what would you rate it, Evan?
For what it is, I'd give it like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. I mean, this is like if you're like Japanese film, or if you like really solid like horror. I like the story on this. I like the music. I wish because there was a lot of movies on that wheel that we could sit here and just rip. And
I would have been.
Yeah, that's. If we ended up, we're able to watch Planet 51, I'm going to say 52. If we were able to watch Planet
sequel.
51, I think we would have ripped that, and this would have been a little funnier, but, like, this is a solid movie, guys.
Yeah,
I actually, like, it's a good movie to, like, sit around with a couple people and be like, yo, watch this fucked up shit.
Watch
Like,
this.
This is pretty fucking cool.
Watch this gross.
This is fucking gross Japanese body horror. This works. It works in every way I thought the first one didn't. So
it was really, really good.
Would recommend if this is kind of your thing. If you want to creep someone out, like I'd
have them even going blind too.
Yeah, like,
don't tell them what it's about at all.
Hammer.
The thing about this movie, like, I'd probably say I'd give this like a 9, like a straight just 9 out of 10. I definitely like it better than the first one. I feel like this one's way more rewatchable than the first one. Yeah. I feel like you could probably put somebody in front of this movie, and even if they're like, what the fuck am I watching, at some point eventually they're going to see something that interests them just because it's got so much different stuff going on in it. But yeah,
interesting is a good word for the movie. Yeah. It's definitely interesting.
It can keep your attention because if you look away and look back up, you're going to miss something crazy that happened. Like,
yeah, for sure. I would probably give this a solid 8. I was so ready to just shred this movie like we did. I was just ready to lay into this. But like as we got into it, I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, all right. But I was not prepared for it. So definitely for the surprise factor, like 8.5 for sure.
Definitely.
Cool.
All right, well, let's put a bow on the end of this episode.
It's time to leave. It's time to leave.
Another cheers to
no, take that
Tetsuo back. 2 Iron Man. Ladies and gentlemen,
Jason's now missing a tooth.
Thank you so much for watching.
Anybody know a good dentist?
Thank you so much for watching this.
Tetsuo the dentist, part 4.
This
dentist hammer. Then there it goes. We got it.
You did it. They weren't glued.
You made the symbiotes fall.
Venom.
Oh no!
You just ruined it.
Copyright.
You robots got him.
No, close it out.
Tetsuo, the YouTube brother.
Venom comes to get us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Is weird or whatever.
Wait. Important information. Tetsuo 3 now goes on the wheel for the next time.
Oh yeah, now we move up.
For the next,
we move up the ladder now.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can follow us on at BlahBlahPod1 on Twitter. Follow our podcast on Apple Podcasts. Rate us. Give us a little comment if you'd like. And check out any other video on this YouTube channel and subscribe to us as well. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Halloween and a great rest of October.
Good Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Good night.
Out, am I?
Are you kidding me, Sean? Listen. Okay. All right. No, I need to address the audience directly. Hi, audience. My name's Evan.
You don't even know if you're on camera.
I'm on camera.
Flip the screen.
I'm on camera. I want you to take a look.
No, don't. You're gonna fuck it up.
Why don't you sit right there for a second?
No,
hey, so Sean over here illegally downloaded this horrible kids movie, and it doesn't have any dialogue in it.
No,
Jason,
it does. It just wasn't on the track.
Oh my God. Jason, you want to say something?
This banana's pretty good.